Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the Math Tutorials, and the Math Tutorials is an educational channel here on YouTube. And what I do is to help students start preparing for the exams on these of English and on literature. So the Math Tutorials is all about helping students to succeed in their exams. Okay. So today I want to talk to us about adjective clauses. Adjective clauses. This is one of the topics that you're expected to know to enable you answer questions correctly in Waec Comprehension passages. First, we're going to learn what an adjective is. An adjective is a word that qualifies a noun. It's a word that qualifies a noun or a pronoun. It tells you more about a noun or a pronoun. For example, the tall student is in my class. The tall student is in my class. Now, the word tall tells you more about the student. So, tall is an adjective qualifying the noun student. Okay, so an adjective is a word that tells you more about a noun or a pronoun. Okay, I prefer the red dress to the green one. And the word red qualifies the noun dress. It describes the noun dress. So red is an adjective. Okay. So an adjective tells more about a noun or a pronoun. Okay. Now, what's a clause? It's important for us to understand what an adjective is, what a clause is, to enable us understand what an adjective clause is. Okay. Now, a clause is a group of related words that has a subject and a final verb. That means a clause contains a noun or a pronoun and a verb. It contains a noun or a pronoun and a verb. This is unlike phrase. Phrase does not contain a final verb and it does not contain a subject. So a clause contains a subject and a finite verb. It contains a noun and a doing word. Now, what's an adjective clause? An adjective clause is a clause that tells us more about a noun or a pronoun. It qualifies a noun or a pronoun. An adjective clause almost all the time begins with that, whose, whom, which, who. These are the 5 pointers to an adjective clause. They are the 5 pointers to an adjective clause. So when you see a group of related underlined words that begins with that, whose, which, whom, who, you should suspect that it's an adjective clause. Now, the next thing you're going to do is to check the noun that it's talking about. Okay. Now, adjective clauses most times come after the noun that is qualifying. It most times come immediately after the noun that is qualifying. So when you've identified that as an adjective clause, you check the noun that is qualifying, which comes before it. And the function is that it's qualifying the noun that precedes it in the sentence. For example, the flowers which we picked yesterday have died. Now, if which we picked yesterday is underlined in the sentence, which we picked yesterday is underlined in the sentence, is an adjective clause. It starts with the pointers. Please also note that an adjective clause is also called a relative clause because which, whom, that, who are all relative pronouns. They are relative pronouns. So you can also say that an adjective clause is a relative clause. Now, because of the relative pronoun that precedes the clause, which we picked yesterday, so it's a relative clause or an adjective clause, and it qualifies the noun that comes before it, which is flowers. Okay, so this is a relative clause or an adjective clause qualifying the noun flowers. Okay, now let's answer some questions from the past questions. Past questions. So we're going to answer 3 questions from the past questions. Now let's begin with 2010. Let's look at 2010 passage, WASC past questions passage. Okay, let's check 2010. 2010. 2010, we have in section B, comprehension passage, section B, we have the sentence is, this is the usual lot of mental patients whose family members refuse to take advantage of orthodox treatment. This is the usual lot of mental patients whose family members refuse to take advantage of orthodox treatment. Now, the underlined words are whose family members refuse to take advantage of orthodox treatment. Now, the underlined words, does it begin with a relative pronoun? Yes, it begins with a relative pronoun, whose, okay? So it's a pointer to it being an adjective clause, okay? So it begins with a relative pronoun. And does it contain a noun? Yes, family. Family is a noun, and it contains a verb. Refuse is a verb. Refuse is a verb. So the name of the underlined words is an adjective clause, is an adjective clause or relative clause. And what's the function? The function is that it tells us more about the noun patient. So it qualifies the noun patient. Patient. Patient is a name used referring to a group of people who are sick. Okay. Remember I told you that relative clauses or adjective clauses usually come after the noun that they are describing or qualifying. Okay. So the name of this underlined words is adjective clause, and it qualifies the noun patient. There's another one in 2011. 2011, we have left in the lodge, he clung on to a classmate who had longed to work in the city as a petty clerk. Now, the underlined words are who had longed to work in the city. Now, who is a pointer to it being an adjective clause or relative clause, because who is a relative pronoun. So we're going to check if it has a verb and a noun, okay, or a pronoun. It contains a noun. The word city is a noun. The word work is a verb, so it contains a noun. It also contains a verb, so it's a clause, and it's also an adjective clause. And what does this qualify? It qualifies the word, the noun, classmate. So the romantic name of the underlined words is adjective clause qualifying the noun classmates. Okay, so we're gonna stop here today. I believe we've already understood what an adjective clause is, how to identify it in a sentence, and I believe with these tips I gave, it will be easy for you to identify an adjective clause in the comprehension passage when you're asking questions in the comprehension passage. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye bye. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed already. Click on the like button and please share it to your friends. Okay, thank you, and bye bye.